Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a massive battle that is literally reshaping the internet as we speak. It's AI versus, well, pretty much everyone who creates content online. And it all comes down to one thing: fair compensation.
So let's get right into it. There's a war for the future of online content happening right now, and it really kicked into high gear with one single pretty dramatic move. This quote from Cloudflare's CEO really captures the tipping point. Now, that date is a projection from the source material, looking ahead to July 2025, but it signals this massive, fundamental shift in the unwritten rules of the internet.
So why is this such a huge deal? Well, to really get it, we've got to look at a problem that's been kind of hiding in plain sight for a while now. And that's the massive hidden cost of all the free stuff online that's actually fueling this whole AI boom. And this, right here, is the heart of the problem. You've got these AI companies building multi-billion-dollar empires on the back of data they never paid a dime for. They're just scraping everything. News articles, blog posts, pictures, you name it, all to train their models. But here's the kicker. Who's footing the bill for the servers and the bandwidth to serve up all that data? Yep, the original creators are.
Okay, check out this number, 50%. That's the jump in Wikipedia's yearly bandwidth bill in just 1 year. And why? Mostly because AI bots are just constantly crawling and downloading its articles and images to train their models.
In this chart, wow, it really puts the scale of this thing into perspective. For a nonprofit like Wikipedia, a whopping 65% of their most expensive traffic, the data that costs them the most to serve, it's not from you or me looking something up. Nope, it's from machines just vacuuming up data on an industrial scale.
Okay, so this isn't just a story about money or who pays for bandwidth. It goes way deeper. It's about something we all rely on, something that feels like it's crumbling, our trust in what we read online.
You know how it is, right? You're reading an article and you see a quote from some expert. Take this name, Barbara Santini. She was everywhere, quoted in Cosmopolitan, The Telegraph, even the BBC, giving expert advice on everything from stress to vitamins. Sounds legit, right? An Oxford-educated psychologist? Totally credible. Well, here's the plot twist. She doesn't exist. Barbara Santini was a total fabrication, a complete hoax. When people actually looked into it, there was no record of her, no academic history, nothing. Just a fake expert, probably cooked up to push some brand, whose advice got printed in dozens of major news outlets. Talk about a blow to public trust.
So that leaves us with a really big, kind of scary question. In a world that's just flooded with AI content and fake experts, how can you possibly know who or what to believe? I mean, if the big-name news sites are getting fooled, what chance do the rest of us have?
So you've got this perfect storm, right? The economics of the web are broken and our trust is shot. And that's when one major company decided, okay, enough is enough, and drew a massive line in the sand. And this was the turning point. We're talking about Cloudflare, a huge internet infrastructure company that a ton of websites use for security and performance. First, they gave websites a simple, easy button to block AI bots. And the response was insane. Over 1 million sites hit that button almost immediately. So Cloudflare took the next logical step. They just flipped the switch. The new default wasn't open for scraping anymore. It became you need to ask permission first. What this did really was rewrite the internet's social contract. You see, the old deal was pretty simple. Google and other search engines could crawl your site, and in exchange, they'd send you visitors. It was a two-way street. But AI models, they're a one-way street. They just take the information and give zero traffic back. So the new deal is this. If you're going to take all that value and not send anything back, you need to get permission. And yeah, you're probably going to have to pay up. Okay, so if the old system is totally broken, what's next? Well, it's actually about a lot more than just putting up a wall to block bots. It's about building a brand new economy for the internet, one that's actually built on value and trust. And how do you actually charge a bot? Well, the technical side is surprisingly straightforward. It's a 4-step process, really. First, you spot the AI scraper traffic. Step 2, you make it identify itself, with a special key or a token. Then, once it's logged in, you can track every single thing it accesses. And step 4, you send the AI company a bill for everything they used. Simple as that. You turn a freeloader into a paying customer. And what's cool is that this opens the door to all sorts of new ways for creators to get paid. It's not just about charging bots for access. Publishers can start selling their content in nice, clean, machine-readable formats. Or they can license their entire back catalog of articles directly to AI developers. They could even set up micropayments, so you and I could pay, say, $0.25 to read one article instead of being forced into a subscription.
But maybe one of the most brilliant ideas to come out of this is the idea of monetizing trust itself. Just think about it for a second. What is good journalism, really? It's verified information, it's truth that's been checked and double-checked. So publishers can package that hard work, all that fact-checking and source vetting, into a product, a verification as a service that AI companies would pay for to make their own models less, well, wrong.
And the tech that makes this possible is really cool. It's based on something called knowledge graphs. You can think of it like a nutritional label for a news story. It creates this clear, transparent trail that shows you everything. Who wrote it, what sources they used, how credible those sources are. It's basically a way to prove digitally that the content and the creator are real and can be trusted.
Okay, so that's all the big picture stuff. But what does this huge shift from a free-for-all web to a fair value web, what does it actually mean for you? You know, the person just trying to browse the internet, read some articles, and maybe learn something. Well, the whole point is to create a better, more sustainable internet for everybody. For you, it should mean a more reliable internet where it's way easier to tell what's real, human-made content and what's just AI-generated noise. It also means you might get more flexible ways to pay for good journalism, like buying just one article instead of hitting a paywall that demands a full subscription. And maybe most important of all, it means a future where the people who actually create the great stuff you rely on can get paid fairly for their work, which means they'll keep making it.
At the end of the day, it's a huge change. It's about moving away from an internet that runs on clicks and ads and moving towards one that runs on actual value. And that really leaves us with one final big question to chew on as we all try to navigate the future of information online.